Greetings, my name is Nate Hastings. I'm the Membership and Development Manager for the Chamber Collaborative of Greater Portsmouth, and this is a brief slide presentation to just talk about ways that the University of New Hampshire and the Chamber can have a more robust partnership moving forward. So goals for today is to talk about what is a Chamber of Commerce, what makes us the Chamber Collaborative, unique opportunities for UNH by department or area, Chamber program offerings, President Dean's 4 strategic priorities, potential action steps, and to finally talk about the Small Family Community Fellowship Internship that the Chamber is offering this summer. Chamber of Commerce. We are a membership-driven trade organization. We are not an entity of local government. We represent the interests of the business community locally. We work with state, local, and national leadership where appropriate. And there are several misconceptions. Number one, we are not affiliated with the United States Chamber of Commerce. You may hear their commercials around different election seasons. That is not our parent organization. We can't fix your parking tickets or ours. And also, we are not responsible for great programs like Market Square Day, Children's Day, or First Night. Basically, we have a great program in Portsmouth called Pro Portsmouth that puts on a lot of these activities. Some chambers are different. For example, our friends in Dover, they actually put on Apple Harvest Day and the Kachiko Arts Festival. Here in Portsmouth, we have the privilege of just being able to amplify the great works of our partners, such as Pro Portsmouth and also the Prescott Park Arts Festival. And that's one of those things that makes us the Chamber Collaborative. This rebrand came about during our centennial anniversary in 2017, and a word that kept coming up was collaborative, about working together, about being social, working to improve the community in a positive way, connecting people to people, conducting efficient marketing initiatives, enhancing that feeling of belonging and pride. Essentially, a rising tide raises all ships, and that is very important to us. Now, let's talk about ways that we can work with different areas at UNH. For example, CAPS, Career and Professional Success. We can help with increased engagement with employers. We have approximately 700 active members in the area, and we have a variety of different networking events. The Entrepreneurship Center. We can provide introductions to financial institutions that you may not have relationships with yet. We could offer opportunities to facilitate site visits with our members, and we have a great partnership with the Portsmouth CTE program that we might be able to bridge a gap between those two programs on. Public affairs. We have a public policy committee that's very active. We do an economic outlook program every spring. We work very much on workforce housing initiatives. We conduct the State of the State address, which is coming up, and we'll be joined by Governor Sununu, seen here with President Dean and Provost Jones. Alumni. We can work on increasing alumni engagement in the Seacoast region, especially with the program Catapult Seacoast. You may be familiar with them. They are the young professionals network in this area. They were very strong from their founding in about 2006 up until shortly before the pandemic, when they were starting to fall in some harder times, and the pandemic really forced that group to have a reset. Well, we're very happy to partner with them now as a program of the Chamber Collaborative of Greater Portsmouth, with a partnership with the Dover Chamber, the Exeter Chamber, and the Hampton Chamber. We're very excited to watch this program bloom in success. And also, we can help expand the Seacoast Alumni Network. I know that is the largest alumni network of the University of New Hampshire, but there's always room to grow, and we run into alumni at so many of our programs. For the hospitality side, UNH has a lot to offer. It's a potential site for so many conferences, and we can certainly work with conferences and catering, with university hospitality services, to find more ways to showcase their excellent offerings to our membership. One of the great programs that I remember from pre-pandemic was when the university took over the Portsmouth Music Hall, and it was UNH artists on the stage, and it was UNH catering and bars offering the hospitality. I think that was such an exciting event, and I'd love to work with the university more on doing that. Recruitment. Well, obviously students. It's a huge drive for the university, and we can certainly help with that, even just with positive interactions with either potential future students, with returning students like the Executive MBA program, or also with parents of students. Summer youth programs is huge, and we always have our members looking for the next thing for their students to do. Professional development and training is just such an excellent program that the university runs, and whether that's helping to bring greater visibility to those programs, or even offering special programs, that's something that we're excited to do. And then finally, recruiting employees. We've already been working recently with Carrie Gruby and some of the folks at Human Resources, and we'd love to keep doing that. Marketing, it's a big thing that we do. We can certainly help bring additional attention to programs like athletics, music, theater, and dance, and enhancing the UNH brand. Better any kind of way to bring audiences to UNH, I think we are in a position to help with. And then development. The 603 Challenge is a major event, and we have a very civic-minded membership. There's potential within our membership to increase the donor base, and then there's also potential for matching funds from donors, whether that is an engaged alum who hasn't been approached yet about matching their employees' donations, or maybe they want to be one of the special sponsors for a specific challenge in the 603 Challenge or other fundraising initiatives. We can certainly help with introductions there. So let's talk a little bit more about what the Chamber itself does. Connecting people is a big thing that we do. It's pretty much our bread and butter. And some of the ways that we do that is we have a program called Business After Hours. Business After Hours takes place generally on the fourth Thursday of the month from 5 to 7 p.m. It rotates throughout the Seacoast area, and it is a very informal networking event. There is usually appetizers and drinks, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic, for folks to enjoy while they interact with their peers and meet new connections that are members of our chamber. Morning Mixers is a very popular event. This is a morning version of Business After Hours. It takes place on the second Friday of the month, and it tends to have an audience of about 30 to 40 people. And what's exciting about the Morning Mixers is that is a program that is facilitated by our chamber ambassadors. So whereas the Business After Hours is essentially a couple of people from an employer that are in a room with about 200 other folks from different entities, and you kind of meet who you can, and we certainly do have chamber staff and ambassadors that can help facilitate introductions. The Morning Mixer is a chance where everyone in the room, or at least every employer in the room, can sit there and get a chance to tell the whole room about what they do and what their particular ask is, like what's going on in their current business cycle. And then at the end of the mixer, there's time for people to connect with other people in the room who they really were intrigued by and wanted to learn more from. So that's the Morning Mixer program. I should mention the Seacoast Chamber Alliance. So that is a group of the 6 local chambers of commerce in this area. So that includes Rochester, the Falls, which is Somersworth, Rollinsford, and some of the Berwicks in Maine, the Dover Area Chamber of Commerce, the Exeter Area Chamber of Commerce, the Hampton Area Chamber of Commerce, and finally us, the Chamber Collaborative of Greater Portsmouth. Our presidents get together monthly, and we do a lot of events together or initiatives together. I already mentioned Seacoast Catapult, which is a joint program with us, Dover, Hampton, and Exeter. But also we occasionally do special business after hours where it's more than one chamber. It's very common for annually the Exeter, Hampton, and Portsmouth chambers to get together, and we're working to do even more collaborative programs with our fellow chamber members. And that could be a great opportunity for the university to engage not just with our Portsmouth group and the Dover group, which I believe you're members of as well, but perhaps the slightly further afield local chambers. We also have a Connect and Collaborate referral group, actually 2 of them. They meet Thursdays or Friday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m., currently mostly on Zoom, but we are looking to get more in-person meetings together. And this is a more standard B&I networking kind of event where there's 1 seat per industry, and that it really becomes a tight-knit group of people making referrals. And what they ended up doing is basically broadening their own personal network so that when they're with their client, let's say that they are a residential realtor, and one of the things they need to do to prepare for a sale is maybe get new window treatments. Well, in that other group, there's a gentleman from Budget Blinds of the Seacoast, and they already have a natural connection right there through that referral group. And it also extends to physical therapists, photographers, bankers, financiers. We just get a huge group together and to really make these tight-knit programs. So we're very excited about that. And then, of course, Catapult Seacoast. And so I've mentioned it a couple times, but this is the young professionals group in the region. Young professionals loosely being defined as about 21 to 40 years old, but it's also for the young at heart, and they don't do any checking of IDs or anything like that to get you into the group. And that program is really exciting. It is just finding its feet again. So not only are there ways for the university to get involved by sending staff members there and also students that are on their way out of the university through graduation, but this could be a chance for sponsorship as well for programs that tend to pull largely from recent alums like perhaps the Paul College MBA program or even professional development and training. Education is another big part of our mission. We do a lot of programming in this area, largely tends to be member to member. And so some of these programs include our Power Biz Hour program, which is a 1-hour series that takes place about monthly, about 6 times a year during the sort of the traditional academic year time frame. And they are 1-hour workshops put on by different members in a variety of areas. Most recently, we have offered programs on employer vaccine mandates, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and also trademark is the next one that's coming up for folks that are worried about logos and also making sure that they are not violating anyone else's copyright with what they do. And we are excited to relaunch our Leadership Development Series, which is a much more deeper dive program into certain topics, and we actually are excited to feature some UNH talent for that program. And we are always looking for facilitators. I personally, because my network extends to the university, have leaned on some great folks from the university, most recently Lou Farrell and Allison Ryder, who helped us with some of our DEI initiatives back in the fall, and we're very excited to roll out the fruits of those labors. Collaboration, we're the Chamber Collaborative, so that is a big thing that we do, and our collaborations take many forms. We bring a lot of industry groups together. The Manufacturers Roundtable is a program that we're excited to get back up and running after COVID. Our most popular iteration of that program actually took place at the Olson Manufacturing Center at the university. So we're excited to bring that program back. It's a chance for manufacturers to get together in a room and share their concerns and share the challenges that they're facing and perhaps help each other through those challenges. And then the Executive Circle Luncheon is a program that we had aimed to get started before COVID, and we're excited to get back on track with. And it's similar to the Manufacturers Roundtable, but it's for C-suite level leaders that want to get together in sort of a private setting and again, network and share concerns and hopes for the future. And we just partner with a whole bunch of community organizations on a variety of projects, including Small Business Week, Let's Talk Tourism and Talking Shop. Those are 2 programs that our tourism director runs. The Let's Talk Tourism group is a program where all of our tourism and hospitality members get together once a month and they share trends. What are they seeing? What are the challenges? And personally, as somebody who does not come from a tourism or hospitality background, this was a very helpful program for me to see what goes into tourism. So as we were emerging from sort of somewhat reopening after the first round of COVID vaccines, it was exciting to watch how first it was maybe some empty nesters coming back to travel to Portsmouth, and then we started to see some college-age students, followed by the high school students and the full families. And then even kind of breaking down to hearing from our hotels and our retailers that a lot of the people coming in were from states and areas of the United States that we don't usually see here in Portsmouth. And our suspicion, which was played out or confirmed through a lot of comments made by the travelers, was a lot of folks who would ordinarily travel internationally were choosing to explore different parts of the country. And in addition to the Portsmouth area being a destination on its own, we picked up quite a bit of traffic with folks flying in from around the country to Boston, spending a couple days with us and some maybe other southern or central New England coastal communities on their way up to Bar Harbor. So it was exciting to have a group together sharing that information so that people can basically plan their shops and be in the best possible position to, make a good impression with our visitors and have a successful tourism season. And then a new program that we're very excited about that we're hoping to unleash in our next fiscal year, which actually is the same as UNH's. So this will be hopefully this coming September, and then also maybe in June of 2023. It's a program called Our Working Ports, and we're going to try to build better connections between our members and our 3 working ports. And what I mean by those working ports is Portsmouth Harbor itself, the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, and of course Pease Trade Port. And yes, these tours are going to involve a boat ride, at least for the Portsmouth Harbor trip. So please be looking for information on that because it's going to be very exciting. Marketing is a big thing that we do here in the Seacoast. Marketing, especially tourism marketing, is a big thing that our chamber does, as well as the Hampton Area Chamber. And it's important to note that our marketing initiatives for hospitality and tourism is funded by our marketing and tourism partners, and what I mean by partners is our members. So we are not taking from the average member business to promote tourism. The tourism dollars are largely coming from the state through grants and through those members and events themselves that mostly benefit from it. So promoting Portsmouth as a premier destination in the Northeast is a big thing that we've been working on for a long time. A big part of that has been Restaurant Week of Portsmouth and the Seacoast, and we are so excited that it's coming back in April of 2022. We currently have about 30 restaurants signed up, and we're very excited to bring this program back as we have not been able to offer it since fall of 2019. We're also looking to launch a brand new event in May called Cocktail Week. And so basically, we have done very well, and I mean we as our entire community, have done very well to establish Portsmouth as a historic destination, as an arts destination, as a culinary destination, even a beer destination with our excellent craft brew community, but basically we're not quite on the cocktail map yet. And so we are working with an exciting committee of bartenders and bar managers to do a program in May called Cocktail Week, which is going to correspond with our Hit the Decks program, which we've been doing for quite some time, and that is sort of the unofficial opening of deck season in Portsmouth. So you should all watch your calendars for May 10th through 15th, and you should come on out and celebrate the community with us. GoPortsmouthNH.com is the official tourism website of Portsmouth and the Seacoast. It has a great calendar of events, and one thing that UNH could certainly take advantage of is listing events there. While the primary bulk of the Seacoast tourism season is during the summer months, there is definitely some overlap, whether that in the shoulder season, so whether that is in parts of like late April and May, or in September and even October, where UNH athletics is going full force, where the theater and music programs have recitals and performances and things like that. So there's definitely ways to not only reach out to our local community, but even our tourism community and extend UNH's reach even further. And then finally, media visits. That is a big part of what our tourism director works on. Is we have familiarization tours that come to town, and our tourism director makes sure that those writers have good experiences, that they see our excellent hotels, they see our excellent restaurants and performance spaces and nature spaces. So when you see places like the Miami Herald or even publications from Ireland and Canada talking about the great things to see and do in Portsmouth, a large part of that has to do with the efforts of the Chamber and our excellent tourism members. Advocacy is a big part of what we do. In addition to education, we also help promote things that are in the interest of our members and our community. Our Public Policy Committee routinely examines local, state, and national issues and advocate as appropriate for the business climate. One of the ways that we do these is candidate forums. So when we recently had the Portsmouth City Council elections, we worked on making sure that we were able to offer candidate forums in a safe way, which we did it over Zoom, but in the past, pre-COVID, we have certainly done these in person. We often do a legislative reception at the beginning of the New Hampshire legislative season, where our different local state legislators are available to our members and the public. State of the State is an annual address where we invite the governor to come in and address our membership and the Portsmouth business community about where the state is currently and where the state is going. And similarly, we also do that with the State of the City address. Workforce housing is a big issue, and we all have known this for quite some time, but it is something that the Chamber is coming out as being increasingly active with. Most recently, we partnered with a variety of entities in the Portsmouth Music Hall to do an event called The Future of Calling Portsmouth Home, which included a screening of Communities and Consequences 2, followed by a panel discussion including State Senators, Assistant Mayor Kelly, our new Economic Development and Planning Manager, as well as the filmmaker themselves. And I wanted to share a quote that honestly I just read about yesterday, and that is, "Housing is where all of the jobs go to sleep at the end of the workday." And that's by Sarah Reitzman, who is a huge advocate and activist in the housing community, and we support her work and work collaboratively with her quite a bit. So that is another issue that I know is important to the university, and we would love to partner with the university in this area if at all possible. Community. we bring the community together. That is a big part of what we do. In our mission statement, we bill ourselves as being a convener of people, and that's just so important to us. And so some of the ways that we do that is through small and frequent events that bring the community together, whether that is formal or informal. We also do very large celebrations, such as the Small But Mighty Business Expo, which is what you're seeing here in this photo. We do an event in the winter called Puddle Dock Prelude, which is our winter fundraiser. And this year we were out at Strawberry Bank at the Labrie family skating rink. And it was this beautiful indoor-outdoor event that made it reasonably safe for people to make their own choices for participation during COVID. We also do Street Life, which is our annual celebration. It's called Street Life because it has rotated all over the community, setting up big tents in different parts of the community out in the street and just basically celebrating the year in the business community. And of course, we do things that many other chambers do, like golf classics. So let's talk about the chamber and UNH's 4 strategic priorities. Here they are right here. I know they're all near and dear to your hearts, and let's talk about some of these things. So for enhancing student success and well-being, we can help with internship sites. We can help for career fair participation and off-campus opportunities, whether those are co-curricular or even just social, for getting students out there and seeing the broader community. I know UNH builds itself as being in the middle of everywhere, and I think that is just such an exciting and true statement. You know, an hour from the mountains, an hour from Portland, Boston, minutes from Portsmouth, and also the rest of the seacoast. So we want to help partner there. Expanding academic and research excellence, we have world-class employers who are members here, whether that is our hospital community, whether that's folks like LANSA, Sig Sauer, International Association of Privacy Professionals. You know, we have a lot to offer. And we have opportunities to share UNH's research stories. I recently heard about all the really exciting research opportunities that are happening below the Memorial Bridge here in Portsmouth. And honestly, I only learned about that because one of our staff members here has a family member that worked on some of those projects. These are the kind of projects that when we know about them from our members, we want to help amplify that to the community to make sure that everyone knows about it. So, you know, moving forward, we would love to know more about great things that UNH is doing for the state of the whole, of course, but also locally here in the Portsmouth area. And speaking of the Portsmouth area, this is an opportunity to embrace New Hampshire locally. Many of our Portsmouth businesses and members have statewide impacts. So we have a lot of members and employers that are members not only of our chamber, but Concord, Manchester, Nashua, Keene, up in the White Mountain regions, because basically a lot of New Hampshire employers cover the whole state. And so we can help make introductions that, while they may start here in Portsmouth, they may lead to exciting opportunities for the university in other parts of the states. And we are happy to do that. And then building financial strength, getting the Young Professionals Network Catapult involved with the university, getting them a chance to continue to engage with the university and be engaged young alums, I think is an important thing that we can help facilitate. And then we have a variety of development officers and financial institutions that are members with our chamber, and we can help facilitate introductions if you don't currently have those relationships. And then finally, potential audience members. Again, whether that is sports, the arts, undergraduate research conference. There's a variety of ways that we can help spread the word about great things that are happening at the university to our members. So let's talk about some potential action steps. So some events that UNH staff members can attend. There's that Business After Hours program for Thursdays. Morning Mixers, second Friday. We're working on a lunchtime mixer program that's hopefully going to launch this summer, which will follow the model of the morning mixer, but it'll be for people like me that don't like to network at 8:30 in the morning. So we're looking at probably a lunchtime program, perhaps in Prescott Park, where people can either have their lunch ordered in, or they can bring their own lunch and get a chance to network and enjoy our beautiful community. Programs for participation. We have the Power Biz Hour program and that leadership development series. That's the deeper dive program. So we'd love to have more UNH folks as facilitators. The Executive Circle Luncheon and Manufacturers Roundtable are opportunities for appropriate UNH staff members to get involved in the local community and build more connections. Exposure for UNH, we can certainly help with that, and that's part of that is getting more of UNH's events on goportsmouthnh.com. We would love to help spread the word. and getting representatives and decision makers at events to not only help build introductions with members, but also get some decisions made in the room so that the next thing is not like, should we follow up on and do this? It's yes, we've decided this is a good idea. Now what is next? And then certainly there's opportunities for UNH to show all that they have to offer by hosting the chamber community, whether that's a business after hours event over the summer or whenever it is more convenient for the university, or some kind of an open house opportunity where different departments can showcase really what they can offer the community and also talk about what they're looking for our community. And then finally, we have digital ways of engagement. One of those is using Chamber eBlast to promote employment opportunities. And we also have signature events that folks can attend, and some of these, I apologize, are going to be behind my camera shot. But attending those signature events, Street Life, Puddle Duck Prelude, and the Golf Classic are great ways to get university folks out there and seen and building connections to the community. The final opportunity I want to go over is a chance for a UNH student to be very involved with the Chamber Collaborative of Greater Portsmouth. We are fortunate enough that we have an internship this summer funded by the Small Family Community Fellowship. That program is going to run from June 1st to August 12th with a project presentation on August 10th, because these students will be part of a cohort that will be sharing their projects throughout the summer. It is funded at the level of $16 per hour. We're going to take excellent care of these students. Applications are available on Handshake right now, and they are due March 16th. More information can be found at portsmouthcollaborative.org/internship. And there we have a variety of project examples, because essentially we have a variety of projects that can be done, but we want to make sure that we find the right student for the chamber. And then when we find the right student, we want to find the right project for that student based on their academic interests and also their personal interests to make sure it's a robust, high-impact performance for them. Questions. So if anyone has any questions, you can reach me. My contact information is right here. My name is Nate Hastings. I'm the Membership and Development Manager for the Chamber Collaborative of Greater Portsmouth. And also there is our Chief Collaborator and President, Ben Van Camp. He is also reachable and would love to talk to you. Thank you all so much for your time and attention and for going back and checking out this presentation. We look forward to working with you.